Hi, I'm going to be talking about the importance of self-expression. This is a really important topic to me, so I figured why not, you know? So let's start from the root, the very beginning. Why do I not like who I am? That's a big one, you know? Typically it comes from a past trauma you've been burdened with, or a situation that you have been placed in, or really anything that you feel restricted into being yourself in. I used to feel selfish for thinking of my future because I felt like all of my problems were solely based around the past, and it made me feel like if I couldn't move on from that, how am I supposed to expect anything of my future? Problems of the past make problems of now feel so much bigger. It feels like a giant conveyor belt pileup. Like, you place one thing on the conveyor belt, it spirals and there's plates stacking. It's too much. It feels like you can't keep up. It feels like everything's crawling around you because you can't keep up. Sometimes you don't feel as young as you used to, as creative, as driven, as patient, as kind. You don't feel like you were who you once were, you know? And it kind of turns into this Fantastic Mr. Fox kind of goose chase where you're still trying to be the Fantastic Mr. Fox and do all of the things you used to, but it's just not who you are anymore. And that's okay. It's really okay. This is not the point of this video. So, self-expression is an incredibly important part of a person's self-identity. Have you ever seen a form of media, like movie, a book, a character, a song, lyrics, really anything of that sort, and you really deeply resonated with it? So you start seeking out similar media because you feel seen. You're like, yeah, this person gets it, you know? Like, they're writing all of these things I was feeling and no one quite understood. So yeah, let's see what else they've made. I think this is the very baseline to understanding yourself and having self-expression, because if you can differentiate what you agree with and what you resonate with and what you feel truly can encapsulate you as a person versus what you do not resonate with, neither good nor bad, it just doesn't apply to you. I feel like that is a very big separation part of self-identity, which can lead to healthy self-expression. Because if you can resonate with this, it's like nearly being able to see yourself in things that are not yourself in the mirror. It feels kind of like being able to point yourself out in a crowd, you know, like, yeah, that's me, I resonate with that. Then there is how you display yourself, appearance-wise. There are hairstyles, jewelry, makeup, clothing, tattoos, really anything that can display who you are as a person physically. That is very crucial to a person's self-identity. Tell me you haven't like seen someone wearing a t-shirt of a band you love and been like, oh my god, that's so cool, you know? Like, I love when people wear or show something that I love, because it's like, you too, you know, you get me, right? Fortunately, because it's the first thing people see about you, they can be judgmental and of things of that sort, because they don't know who you are as a person. They just choose what they want to see. I grew up in a very small town that isn't partial to people being different or things being different, and it's really, really difficult growing up and feeling like who you are naturally is a negative thing. That is a terrible thing for someone's self-confidence and overall how they see themselves. I think social media does come into a big part of this, because when you're online, there is so many different people's lives. There's so many different perspectives. There's so many different styles and inspiration that if you grew up anything like I did, that feels like the biggest thing in the world, because I grew up in such a tiny piece of it, of the world. I never knew that there was so much more and so much different parts of life. And then I developed my own style, and I realized, like, you know, it's worth it. It's worth sticking out in one place to feel yourself in every other aspect of your life. For a third piece of self-expression, there is the people you are around. If you are around someone who constantly lifts you up and inspires you and lets you know that, hey, like, I've got your back, you know, I'm here, you are so much more likely to strive to do new things and really test who you are. Like, self-exploration. You are so much more likely to figure out who you are openly and make mistakes and be human and happy if you are around people that will be like, yeah, I'm here to support you no matter what you do. I'm here for you. That is so important. That is so important. This goes hand in hand with what I previously said about the judgmental on what you look like. Peer review is such a strange thing. Please don't hold on with me. This is a bit of a more complicated piece, I guess. If someone compliments you physically, hey, you look great today, it feels good, because, like, why wouldn't it? You know, it's a compliment on your physical appearance. It's like, yeah, I'm doing this right? Like, I look good, you know? And if it's how you dress day to day, like how you normally look, it feels even better, because it's like, they think I'm doing this right. Like, I feel like this feels right. This feels good. But if it's how you don't typically dress, and not in a positive way, if it's how you feel like you have to appear, it's a really bittersweet feeling, especially if they know that you don't prefer to look that way and they still compliment you anyway. That is very bittersweet, because you feel like it's a sense of devalidation. You feel like, oh, they only like me when I'm appearing this way and not how I prefer. Peer validation greatly trickles down to self-validation and self-confidence and self-expression, all of which are so important to a person's mental health and day-to-day life. It's exhausting pretending to be who you're not. It's yeah. Then there's what you create. This might be one of the most important and biggest. Don't get me wrong, all of these things are so important. They really are. But what you create really encapsulates who you are as a person, your thoughts, things that you really just can't get out in a way of verbally, or maybe even verbally, maybe things you can't explain to those around you. It can show your thoughts, really how you feel about everything in the world around you. It's so big. There's so many different types. There's so many different people expressing themselves, and there's always something new to bring to the table. There's always new art to be made, even if it isn't new. If it's new to you, it's new to the world, because you feel differently about it. Everything revolving around art is a matter of opinion. There is no bad art. This connects me to the social media thing. If those around you inspire you, that's peer review. If they inspire you, they inspire you to make art. It goes hand in hand. The stuff you create is of the people who are around you, past experiences, all of it just kind of ties in and it makes something beautiful. It encapsulates your thoughts, who you were, who you are. It all feels like a seamless tie together, you know? And if you can't explain something, perfect, you know? People who inspire you, why are they doing it? What makes them so like, wow, you know? Probably because they're doing it out of self-expression completely of themselves. Now, as we went through these stages, neither you nor I forgot the beginning point of I am not who I used to be. This is where creation of art comes in. It's there so you can explain your thoughts. With art being completely what you make it, there's always something new, and there's always something to work through, and there's always something, it's for you. Art is what you make it. There's no bad art, so why not just do it? You know, there's no way you can fail because, I mean, you might think you could do better, and if you fall short, it's all the chance for you to do it again. It means that you tried, and if it means you've tried, that means you can try again, that means you can succeed eventually. There's really no downside to it at all. And in the final chapter, the loss of identity. What happens when someone cannot express themselves? There can be anxiety, overwhelm, extreme stress. Depression turns into isolation, and restlessness turns into panic. It can cause brain fog, disassociation, disconnect from the people around you. Sometimes social anxiety makes it harder to express yourself. It's okay, it's what it is. It doesn't abstain from the need to express yourself. It might even make the situation more dire. It could be really any situation where you feel like you cannot show who you are completely. It feels like a suffocating situation. Even if you are an outgoing person, if you're an outgoing person and you still feel the need to walk on eggshells and be who you think others would like and not who you truly feel the best as, it's exhausting. There's no other way to put it, point blank. It is exhausting. If you feel like you have to, this is what you need to do, it's all the more draining. There's no easy way around it. In the end, really finding what clicks with you, what you feel best shows who you are as a person, what you think is the best way to just describe who you are, and finding what makes you your most authentic self. That is what is important. That is what really matters. It matters that you are comfortable in your own skin and that you can inspire other people to realize that it's okay to be who you are. It's okay to be who you are even if you're different. There's nothing wrong with different. Different is what makes every person individual, because if we were all the same, why would we want to talk to anyone at all? And if you still think that you need to be different, if you think you need to work on yourself, what do you want to be then? I don't know. Maybe I'm just 15-year-old ranting into my iPhone camera at 8 in the morning, but I think that this is really important. I think these are questions that need to be resolved in your own to figure out a level of peace in your own skin. Who do you want to be, and how is it going to benefit you? Again, this is not fact-based. This is purely my opinion, but it's just a little food for thought that I thought I would share today. Thank you for watching. I will catch you guys in the next video. Don't be a stranger. Bye!